What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Glad to have you here. Glad you decided to click this video and spend time with me learning more about sales. Those of you who don't know me, my name's Ty. I'm a sales consultant. I run a sales consulting business. I work with entrepreneurs to build better offers and close more high ticket deals. As always, if you're someone who selling any kind of service online, want to build better offers, want to improve on your ability to sign clients, book a time with me down below and we'll see if you'd be a good fit for us to work together. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get really good at sales. We're going to be doing a broad sort of overview. Now, when it comes down to it, I'll jump right in. Number one is to practice your pitch. You should know your pitch like the back of your hand. Now, this is not to be robotic. This is not to be, like a memory robot and spit off line after line, one after the other. But you cannot work on your tone. You cannot work on your ability to hold frame. You cannot work on, what makes your pitch work if you do not memorize it. Now, at the end of the day, memorizing your pitch will give you the ability to steer away from it and bring the prospect back to it in the correct order, in the correct section that you guys veered off from if you start to talk about something that's not necessarily relating directly to what you just asked. If you're asking implication questions, if you're asking need payoff questions, if you're diving deeper into a specific question and you need to bring it back to that very next question in the pitch, it's very hard to do that while trying to think about what to say next, while trying to think about what the question next is, or just even reading off of a script. This is not to say don't read off of it. Reading off helps all the time, and I always have my pitch handy with me, no matter how well I get at memorizing it. I always have it handy, but memorizing it makes it so much easier to get that down. And secondly, I said tone. When it comes down to your tonality, where are you, using your tone? How is your tone being used? You can't really customize this until the pitch is memorized, because it's really hard to think about what to say and how to say simultaneously while listening to the prospect and seeing what they're saying back to you. There's so many things you already have to focus on, but adding to it by not knowing what to say, by adding to it by trying to change up your tonality mid-sentence, it's going to be very, very difficult, because you have to listen and you have to process that information. You have to relay back information that is, in tune, in line with what you just heard. And doing that is going to be a mess if you're trying to do that while also thinking, what kind of tone should I use here? What am I supposed to say next? I can't really remember. So in order to change your tonality and really just practice getting good tonality out of your sales calls, you really want to have a memorized pitch. And this is what we really focus on in our program, is practicing the pitch. And that's why we have practice pitch rooms for people to link up together and really just go back and forth at it for as much as they can, for as much as they have free time, because it's so important to keep doing that on a daily basis. Now, secondly is to record all of your calls. Recording your calls is so important, because it really allows you to look back, review, and see how you did. Now, in a lot of people that don't record their calls, they're like, oh, I can just remember where I need to improve. But what they don't realize is there's so many things that the body does subconsciously that we don't notice, that we only notice when we go back and rewatch our sales videos. When we go back and rewatch our calls, you'll notice, all the times that your tonality shift wasn't where it should have been. Slight tonality shifts are really hard to remember throughout an hour-long, 30-minute long, 45-minute long sales call. And not only remembering your tonality shift, but remembering how that tonality shift affected the prospect. When you made that, upward inclination, when you made that downward incline in your voice, how did the prospect react to it? Remembering that is going to be nearly impossible for, 10 sales calls in, 5 sales calls in, across a span of 20 calls. You want to see not only that, but what throws you off. What tonality shift did the prospect use? What did the prospect say? What happened that threw you off and made you jumble your words a little bit? What parts did you add too many ums, too many ahs in your pitch? What parts did you freeze up? What parts did you, just do something weird that you normally wouldn't want to do, but you subconsciously did without even registering it? And you're going to notice all of these little things that come into play when you record your calls that you just didn't want to do. This made a huge, huge difference for a lot of our clients, and especially one of our clients, Dedrick, who really didn't realize that his pitch flow was super off. He was using weird, awkward pauses in times where he shouldn't be pausing. He didn't realize that he would awkwardly say, okay, next question is. He didn't realize he would do that in between each question because he was doing it subconsciously. If you do something repetitively throughout the call, you might not always notice right off the bat. It might not always register in your brain. So watching back your video, watching back your footage is insanely important. Then once you do that, back to the practice pitch, you want to practice objections daily. When it comes to objections and handling them, when it comes to, seeing in your video those things that do throw you off, you have to practice them daily to get good at them, to be able to handle them, to be able to, be swift with what happens when it comes up. And this is especially valuable if you can do this with a person. You want to be practicing your objections with someone who's going to be super rough, super ruthless. You want to practice your pitch with someone that's going to be the worst prospect ever. And that's what we would do at the sales agency. We would practice our pitch with the worst customers ever, not real customers. Of course, the person would just simulate and act like a very bad client. They would act like someone who's really, really tough to sell. That way, when we got on the call, everything was easy. And the next is you want to continuously improve your offer messaging. It's one of the most important things I talk about in our program is fixing that offer, improving that message, improving how you say your offer, improving your offer statement, improving how you display the benefits. Because at the end of the day, a good offer will sell itself. A good salesman cannot sell a bad offer. It doesn't matter how good you are at sales. If it's not a good offer, it's not what the prospect's looking for. If the prospect doesn't feel like it's something that will help them achieve their goal, you're not going to make any money. They're not going to buy it. So you really need to make sure you have an amazing offer. And the best way to do that, which is the last point, is narrow your market, at least at the beginning. If you're starting out, if you're below, if you're not a huge company in the millions, you can narrow your market down, and that's going to make it so much easier for you to make money. When you narrow your market to one type of person, one problem, one solution, they will all start to have the same answers on the calls, making it so much easier for you to structure your sales calls to bring them from, a point of not really knowing what you're doing to excited and ready to jump on board. You will see when you really break it down to that one person, you'll have a huge advantage over competition. You'll have a huge advantage over people that are offering multiple solutions that's not really necessary for that prospect to see success. You will be looked at as the authority and the specialized business in that market, because if you say, hey, I work on just this one thing versus someone that works on all these other things, they will automatically assume you are better at that thing because it's all you do. It will really give you the ability to relate and tell more stories. For example, if you were trying to motivate them into the sale, help them navigate that decision to jump on board today, there is nothing better than being able to show them that there was someone in their exact specific situation that saw success with your help, that saw success with your product or offers or service. Relating to someone only really works if there's some, fashion of relatability, if there's some point of connectivity that you guys have both been through something similar. And a business with 100 success stories helping people with this very specific thing is always going to look better than a business with 1,000 testimonials and 1,000 success stories of helping people in a bunch of different things, if that person is looking for that guy that offers the 100. At the end of the day, getting really good at sales is not as hard as people think. You don't have to have natural talent. You don't have to be this whiz with words. You don't even need to use these magic fancy words like so many people assume. At the end of the day, all you really need to be good at sales is be able to diagnose what someone needs and offer them the best solution to meet that need. And getting good at that just comes from practice, repetition, and learning more about your market. That is the end of the video though, guys. That's all I had to say. Just wanted to quickly talk about what it really takes to get good at sales and break some of the standard beliefs of, you know, people thinking it's got to have this natural born gift. It's really not that complicated. It can be so simple. If you did enjoy this video, guys, leave a like, leave a comment down below what you thought. And if you're a business owner that, again, wants to make better offers, make more sales, and really get down your client acquisition systems, book a call down below and we'll see if you're a good fit, if we could work together one-on-one and really get you nailing your sales calls. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.